Hi friends, today's topic is polarization. Before going to polarization, here we have to discussing about EM wave first. So already we know the EM wave is nothing but electromagnetic wave. This one is the structure of the electromagnetic wave. So in this electromagnetic wave, the electric field and magnetic field both are perpendicular to each other. Here the vertical lines indicates the electric field, the horizontal lines indicates the magnetic field, and this one propagates over the free space. And here this one is the direction of the electric field, this one is the direction of the propagation. And now what is the polarization? The polarization is nothing but physical orientation of the EM wave in the free space. What is the physical orientation? Here the physical orientation is nothing but when the wave is radiated from the antenna, it is forming the different shapes in the free space and propagates towards the receiver side. Suppose the EM wave following the straight line, it is known as the linear polarization. Suppose the EM wave forming the circular path in the free space, that is known as the circular polarization. Suppose the EM wave forming the ellipse in the free space, that is known as the elliptical polarization. These are the different types of polarizations existing in different types of antennas, and these different types of polarizations are used in different types of applications. Here the linear polarization is existing in very lower frequency, medium frequency antennas. The circular and elliptical polarizations are existing in very high frequency, ultra high frequency antennas. Okay, here linear polarization described in terms of electric field, and this linear polarization again divided into two types, vertical polarization and horizontal polarization. So vertical polarization is nothing but when the electric field lies in the vertical plane, that is known as vertical polarization, and when the electric field lies in the horizontal plane, that is known as horizontal polarization. This vertical and horizontal polarizations are mainly depending on the antenna. In the vertical antenna, the vertical polarization is existing. In the horizontal antenna, the horizontal polarization is existing. This is about linear polarization. And what is the circular and elliptical polarization? These circular and elliptical polarizations are formed with two linearly polarized waves. The two linearly polarized waves are radiated from the transmitting antenna. Those are having the equal magnitude and 90 degrees phase shift. Whenever those two linearly polarized waves having the equal magnitudes and 90 degrees phase shift, the circular polarization is existing in the free space. Suppose those two linear polarized waves having the unequal amplitudes, the elliptical polarization is existing in the free space. So this is about polarization. And now here we are seeing the antenna efficiency. So what is the antenna efficiency? Here antenna efficiency denoted with eta. So here eta equal to nothing but radiated power to the total supplied power to the transmitting antenna. So antenna efficiency is nothing but radiated power from the antenna and total power supplied to the antenna. Here I am writing the total power in terms of lost power and radiated power. Why? Because the practical antennas are made with conductors, those conductors having the some resistance. Due to that resistance, the power loss is existing. That power loss is also known as ohmic loss. So due to that loss, the antenna radiating the power into the free space, that power must be less than the total power supplied to the antenna. So here the total power equal to lost power plus radiated power. So eta equal to WR by, in the place of WT I am writing the lost power plus radiated power. So I am writing this formula in terms of RMS current. So already we know generally the power formula is nothing but I square R. So depending on that I am writing radiated power and lost power here. So W loss is nothing but lost power, I RMS into R loss. W radiated is nothing but I RMS into R radiation. Here loss na, that's why I am taking the loss resistance. Here this one is the radiated power na, that's why I am taking the radiation resistance. Now substitute these two formulas here. We are finding the efficiency in terms of resistance or radiation by R loss plus R radiation. This is the antenna efficiency in terms of resistance, and here this one is the antenna efficiency in terms of power. Now here we are seeing the directivity. So what is the directivity? So the directivity defines in terms of maximum power density to the average power density. So P of theta comma phi max and P of theta comma phi average. So it is giving the directivity. Why I am taking the theta comma phi? Why? Because according to the spherical coordinating system only we have to calculate the all the antenna parameters. That spherical coordinate system containing the theta and phi as a angles. That's why here I am taking the theta comma phi power density in terms of theta comma phi, and this one is the average power density in terms of theta comma phi. So now what is the average power density? How we are obtaining the average power density here? So for obtaining the average power density, here we have to divide total radiated power by 4 pi steradians, that is W by 4 pi. So I am substituting this formula here. What is the directivity? Maximum power density to the average power density. So what is the average power density? W by 4 pi. I am writing this 4 pi to the numerator side. So what it will become? 4 pi into maximum power density total radiated power. And here this one is the directivity in terms of decibels, 10 log D to the base T. This one is the formula for the directivity in terms of decibels. Now average power density is nothing but W by 4. Here I am writing the total radiated power from the antenna in terms of angles theta comma phi. So already we know in the spherical coordinating system the theta varies 0 to pi and phi varies 0 to 2 pi. So that's why I am taking the integration theta equal to 0 to pi, phi taking 0 to 2 pi, power radiated from the antenna and solid angle. This one is the 4 pi. So this d omega is nothing but solid angle. So this one calculated from the spherical coordinating system only. The formula for the solid angle is sin theta d theta d phi here. So now already we know what is the directivity formula, maximum power density to the average power density. So maximum power, in the place of average power density I am substituting this formula. Now integration of theta equal to 0 to pi, integration of phi equal to 0 to 2 pi, P of theta comma phi. In the place of solid angle I am writing the formula as a sin theta d theta d phi and 4 pi. So I am writing this 4 pi numerator side and P theta comma phi max denominator side. 4 pi by integration of theta equal to 0 to pi, phi equal to 0 to 2 pi, P of theta comma phi, P of theta comma phi max. I am writing this denominator side. I will take top side into sin theta d theta d phi. So now 4 pi by integration of theta equal to pi, integration of phi equal to 0 to 2 pi, and this total part is call it as normalized power Pn of theta comma phi sin theta d theta d phi. What is the normalized power here? The normalized power is nothing but the total power radiated from the antenna and maximum power existing in particular direction. Here we have to calculate the normalized power. So now 4 pi by B total beam area. Why I am writing the total beam area in the place of this one? So the total beam area formula is this here. The total beam area formula is this one. So that's why in the place of integration of theta equal to 0, phi equal to 0 to 2 pi, Pn of theta comma phi sin theta d theta d phi. This one is the total beam area formula. That's why in this formula place I am writing total beam area. How we are finding the total beam area? We have to find this total beam area from the spherical coordinating system. So now directivity equal to 4 pi by omega a. This one is the total beam area. Okay.